All right. Whoa. All right. So it says we're live, and I can actually hear volume. All right. So if you're watching this, this is obviously a recording. Right now, it was alive. It actually is alive. And what I'm doing is working on the Red Cat again. All right, let's see. So today, took the truck out after working on it yesterday or last night, did a live stream on it. And what we ended up doing is we ended up working on, I call it the driver's side. So for, it's the left rear knuckle or steering arm that they actually call it, steering hub. It actually broke because I smacked a stone wall and repaired that last night. Everything's cool. The thing's flying as usual because that's just what it does. But one of the things that I had noticed was obviously we're getting a lot of squeaking from the other, technically 3 hubs or axles or CV joints there, CVD joints, because all we did was we oiled this one. And seeing that we took this apart, we never ended up taking apart, you know, the other 3 corners. And after I was done cleaning it, I had noticed that this shock, which I don't know if you can see it, you can see it's a little wet right down here on the little eyelet. So I'm going to end up taking this shock off because I noticed that we've got some dust accumulating or just stuff accumulating on that portion of the shock. So I'm wondering if maybe just this isn't tight enough or what, but it might be a good idea to go ahead and clean that off anyway, and then kind of just go through and, you know, take the 3 corners apart and make sure that, you know, other screws and whatever are tight. And, you know, it's just one of those things that there is a certain amount of maintenance that you do need to do on these cars. So let's see, do I still have volume? I'm so worried that I don't have volume. Yeah, I do. My goodness. All right, so first things first, this side's all set. It's going to swap it over to that back side. We already know that's a 17 mil nut right there, so we're going to pop that wheel off. Boy, is it kind of dirty in there. So all we're doing right now is we're going to take the hub off as a unit just by taking out these little ball pins or ball pivots. They screw into the A-arm. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. crunchy in there. And obviously we'll inspect parts, clean them as we take things apart, and I'll end up, you know, kind of like cleaning and oiling and doing all that stuff that never gets done. With crunchy in there. Now just taking the toe link off. I think that was a 2 on the bottom there. Yep, it's a 2. I think that was a 2 inside there too for that set screw. It's going in there. Yeah, the set screw's a 2. And then the pin screw itself, that's also a 2 to be able to take off that this splined hub or hex. Don't lose that little shim or thrust washer, whatever you want to call it. I call it a thrust washer. Now you got to take these ball cup caps off, and that is a 2 as well, right? Yeah, 2 mil. So it looks like the live stream is actually working. That's cool, but I don't think anybody's on though. That's all right. just gonna clean that shaft before I pull it through the bearings. Not that really makes a difference, but just clean everything as you go. It looks nice. Now to pop these little cap ends out, just kind of just put it on like a block of wood or the table, whatever, and just push it through. There you go. Got my trash barrel right underneath the desk. That way, as I'm working, if anything needs to fall on the floor, it's going to fall into the barrel instead of falling onto the rug. Now, there's no upper and lower. These are all the same. Just pushing out those caps. Let's see. Oops. Take a little bit of a break here. Look at these parts here. Pop this little pivot ball out. Nobody's on. Let's see. Just going to pop those bearings out. And then we'll clean the inside of those cups of that hub, or steering knuckle that they call it. What? Ryan Fior, Matt, Paige, and I say, where are you guys? What are you guys doing? Hope I'm seeing that right. That's funny. Fire on the beach. Oh, that's cool. Awesome. It's not sprinkling or anything down there, is it? Or wherever you guys are. Negatory. Well, if the fire's big enough, it won't matter anyway, right? Oh, down at the Saggy? Nice. Well, say hello to everybody for me. Be careful. Putting the hub bearings back in. I'll put that drop of oil in there. I'm just reinstalling the screws for the cup retainers or ball. I call them cup retainers, but I don't know, maybe they're pivot ball retainers or something. Installing the hub pins. And don't forget that set screw that tightens up against the actual pin inside the axle shaft. Is this how Iron Man is? Yes, it is, actually. You should know that. When he was a kid. You made the comment, I'm just a big kid, right? That's funny. This is how Iron Man started. You never know. Man, it's a bummer he's gone. Now just insert the screw back into the actual ball link, and then we're going to reinstall it back into the hub. Can't even see what I'm doing here. I think that's a 2. Yeah, that's why. Is it 2? I think it is. Yeah. Maybe if I use a 2, it'll actually work. These are nice. These were actually pretty cheap. All aluminum. Not that it matters, but it actually has like, there's a section where you can kind of rest your palm against that portion, and as you're spinning it, because it's rounded over and it actually moves, it's actually a cap. The inside of this screwdriver thing is hollow. Now, oh, stop it. Don't even tell me you didn't see the movie. Oh, wait. You went to see, what was it, Undecided, or the heck was that? I forget what that was called. Not Undecided. I can't remember what it was. You saw that other good movie instead. Yes, I am using the new mic. It's actually, it's right there. I'm using the that OBS that you suggested, and it's working. No, don't go. No, don't go there. There we go. So we're good. That side's all set. There's no leaky shock oil on this one. Just remember to put the splines or the ridges towards the wheel. One, two, three. I can feel 3 clicks, and that's how I do it. So now we'll move on to the front. This is just maintenance that you should do to these things. That last year I never did before I put it in, and I probably should have. Serrated, correct. Serrated. I don't even remember what I called it. Splined. Serrated. Correct. What was the other word you used yesterday? I forget what the other word was that you used explaining expendable part or something like that. I don't remember. So I'm going to take the steering link off first. And we'll go in with a 2.5, I think it was. 2.5. I think while this is connected, I'm going to go in with a 2. Grab that little set screw while things are kind of still connected. hard seeing stuff. Serrated. Sacrificial. Yes. Sacrificial. Boy, this one's being tough. Be better off pulling that off first. The set screw that's actually holding that pin on in is not wanting to budge, and I've got to realign the shaft with the set screw on that tool. And what's funny is that the screw is a 2, and the 2 needs help. See what's going on with this piece here. All right, so this thing. The bottom's out, goes all the way through. Light. So what I'll do is I'll just take my marker, because I can't see, and I'll just line the flat spot up to the set screw hole, and I'll just put a mark at the top of the shaft so I know how far it goes in, because I can't tell. There we go. I think that's it. Let's see if that makes a difference. Here's the right one. Let's see. Oh yeah, that helped. All right. What's going on with your axial or SCX2? I think that's what you had. Did you figure out what's going on with that front diff? Throw some gears in it? Work? Oh, meaning you're at work, or it needs work? I need. No, you don't. Are you kidding me? You're way smarter than I am. Let me play with it, yeah. All right. Time for a new paper towel. Just don't lose that washer, because it kind of likes to stay on there. See ya. I need to go to, oh yeah. Hey, thanks for being on the live stream. All right. Whoa. Did I already take that out? No, I didn't. Wow, so that we're actually missing a screw. Huh. That's interesting. So I've never taken this front hub apart before, or steering knuckle. It's actually missing the screw. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. I'm just blind. It's there. See? I can't believe I couldn't see it. I think I need to clean my glasses or something. Or maybe I should get new glasses so I can see what's going on here. So just taking those screws out of the ball cup retainers. That's just what I call them. And we're just breaking this down. There wasn't anything wrong with this one, except for, you know, the actual joint itself was squeaking, and we're just going to clean it up, and still feels tight. But after running this thing through, you know, mud and sand and dirt and leaves and whatever, stuff does get into places, and you do need to do routine maintenance. It's not one of those things like when you're buying something like this that's a hobby grade RC, there's definitely maintenance that needs to be done. And if you don't do it, you'll end up regretting it later. It's kind of like changing oil in your car. You don't do it, you're going to regret it later. I don't know what the recommended thing would be, but it's kind of, I guess, like an air filter. So an air filter, you know, they want you to change it, you know, however many thousand miles, unless you're in inclement conditions. And when you think about these little cars, you know, I don't know really anybody that's driving these strictly on pavement. And if you are, you're still dealing with dust and sand and all that stuff. So these may be sealed bearings in here, but I'll show you. I put a drop of oil inside the little channel. There's a channel that's actually inside there. I don't know if you can see that. I back it up with white, but there's a channel inside there. You can see it. You see the two shiny portions. You can see right in the middle there's that black little channel, and I put a drop of oil in there just to keep things lubricated inside, because once this shaft goes through the bearings, really nothing's going to get in there, because I mean, when you feel how this slides on, the tolerances, they're very, very tight. So, and right now I'm just pushing those little cups out, and I'm dropping my pieces. But as I clean each part, I'm tossing it in there. It's like the clean part container. Technically that should go in there, because I did clean that. Now I'm just going to pop those bearings out, and I'm using a 4. It's small enough to slide in. I mean, you can use an Allen wrench or whatever, or you can use a screwdriver, but you just kind of want to put it in at a slight angle and give it a little push, and you can see the bearing. You just kind of want to rock it back and forth, and you can see that that bearing will pop right out. And like I said, we're just cleaning as we go here. Got someone sitting over there. It's Vector. He's still doing good. No issues. Hey, Vector. What's the temperature outside?
48 degrees and clear.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, buddy. Ooh. Why don't you bumping that over?
What's up, my garage?
Hey, buddy. What's happening? Did you come out to help? So now this is, I don't know if anybody's on. I can't tell. It looks like somebody's on, but I think that's just me. Hey, buddy. Wanted a high five, huh? Hey, buddy. What's happening? Freaking out.
What's up, my garage?
Yeah. Hey, buddy. What's happening? Do you want to entertain?
What's up, my garage?
I know. Yeah, that's me. Hey, buddy. What? Now that this is all cleaned out. So I'm putting that front bearing in, a little drop of oil inside that channel. Put the other bearing back in, the inner bearing, seat it down, put the little pivot balls in there. Drop of oil. This is just what I'm doing. Put the cup retainers in. What are you doing, you nut? Get out of there. What are you doing? That's mine. That's mine. You can't have that. Yeah, don't go tipping that over. You get an oil bath. Whoa. What are you doing, you nut? I'm serious. I'm telling you, this little guy is different. Aren't you? Yeah, you are. Little Vector. Can't get in there. What are you doing? Now, obviously, when I'm assembling this, I'm putting the threaded hole towards me so I can insert the pin. Got the 2 mil for both the this pin and the set screw. Hey, buddy. Cool. Now, this isn't the shock that we're having the issue with. It's actually the other one. So we're actually going to be taking the driver's side shock off. The left side. Hey, buddy. Then I put the bottom one in first because that's the preloaded side, and I've got it sitting on its own tire. And then you install the dog bone as you're kind of putting in or screwing the top one in. Just make sure your dog bone's in there, otherwise you're going to end up taking it apart. I wonder why I was smelling maca. Stop that. Why do you have to go for the oil? It's because it's in your way. What a nut. What are you doing? Can you literally see me on that screen? I can see something on that screen. Oh, look at him. He's being a nut. Now we're going to reinstall the steering link, and that's a 2 mil. It does thread in through the bottom here. What are you doing? You think that's a ramp? It's not a ramp. I know. You're having fun here, huh? Uh-oh. Trying to take it away? And that top. Yeah, I know, you're playing with it. That top screw's a 5.5. Look at you, you're a nut. You're literally playing with that thing. That was cool. What a nut. All right, so this one's down. Everything's good. Actually, just gonna clean that little spline area real quick. And again, take the serrated splined portion and make sure that faces the wheel. And then I can feel it. It's like 1, 2, 3 clicks, like three and a half clicks on this one. And now this is the side that we're actually having more of an issue with. What? So this front one is the one that we're having problems with. We're having problems with the actual front shock. It's leaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take more of this part of the RC apart. Get this out of here. I need a bigger table here. I'm going to rectify that too. So same thing, 17, we're going to take that off first, just so we can get access. So I'm actually going to take the shock off now that I've got access to it. And let's see. Make sure all these are tight. So that lower screw for the shock, that's a It's a 2 millimeter. Just going to pop that out. And then the upper bolt, what is that? 5.5. And that has both a nylock and a washer. I should be doing, have the camera like this so you can actually see what's going on here. How's that? Is that too extreme close up? No, I guess that works. I just need a bigger desk. So just pop the shock out. You can see, looks kind of oily and dirty. I'm hoping that that's just loose. I'm gonna have to get some shock oil. But in order to get this lower spring cup out, you just kind of like hold the shock, pull down on the spring, and you can slide that right out. Pop the spring off. Hey, buddy. You can see all the oil in there. No bueno. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? So you got Vector there helping me out. I know. Yes. That's my name, buddy. You helping? Yeah, I know. I see you. So I'm hoping that this is just loose. Oh man, we need some oil. Yep. Gonna need some oil for this thing. I'm not assuming this thing's gonna need a rebuild. So what I'm gonna do, I know, buddy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna grip it and just see if it needs to be tightened. So we'll see after driving this thing whether this thing needs to be rebuilt or not. But we'll just continue cleaning it for now. Clean off the spring. So now you can see it's got this spacer. Goes up against the top of the shock. compress the spring, make sure the shaft is fully pulled out, then just slide it in and over and let the spring go. And there you go. So I'm actually going to clean that portion as well. I can just leave the shock off for now. Right. Now we're going to go after taking this steering knuckle off. Look at going on there. Do you have a blowout? I'm going to have to take this apart, see what's going on here. All right, we'll take it off after. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just taking off the steering linkage that's connected to the steering knuckle. Two and a half. Take off these pivot balls. $2 mil to loosen that center set screw. 2 mil to go after the pin. Wow. See, this was all loose. So this is all the stuff like you got to check. Again, part of that maintenance. It's like, not really like lug nuts, but kind of similar. Technically, this is the lug nut holding the wheel on. And I guess this would be like the cotter pin holding the actual hub nut on. So this is the side that has that little thrust washer, I keep calling it. Watch, you can see it, right? Pull this out. See it right there? See how it shifted? You don't want to lose that. Shim, thrust washer, whatever you want to call it. I'm putting all my cleaned parts in a cup as we do each corner. Two millimeter takes out the ball cup retainers. There's two of them, top and bottom. You just want to pop them out. Tape that. What you doing, buddy? Hey, Vector. Hey, Vector. What's the temperature?
48 degrees and clear.
That's nice, huh? Thanks, buddy. Hey, Vector. What time is it?
11:09.
Yep. Now, getting to the point of where it's getting kind of nasty on here. So, going to clean this up a little bit. These ones actually were pretty clean. And you can see all the garbage on that bearing right there. I think you can. Focus. Bring it up. Focus. Come on. Focus on the bearing. Yeah. I don't know. There's no difference between inner and outer bearings, and there's also no direction to put these in. Bearing feels good. It's just a casting issue. For some reason I was thinking like it popped. Hey, buddy. So we'll have to see after driving this thing whether the shock is still leaking. I do have to get some shock oil for it. So when you press down on the shock, there's a certain amount of distance that this actually moved where you could tell it just didn't have any oil. So that is going to affect the driving in a sense, but not really, because I mean, we're driving off road, so you're not going to really notice that much. So put the outer bearing in first on this one. Snap it in. It's got a shoulder. I'm going to take, like I said, a little drop of oil, drop it into that channel, and install the inner bearing. Then I'm going to install the pivot balls. I'm doing a drop of oil each. Then your ball retainer cups or cup retainers. And while we're here, we'll just screw the retainer cup screws on. And that's a 2.5. Gotta remember the stuff is plastic, so you can strip these really easy. You just kind of want to just, tighten them down. Not crazy either. But yeah, this all feels nice. What? You're the one that asked for the 5.5. Just don't forget your thrust washer before you put your splined hub on. Hey, I know. Hey, buddy. That's nice. What are you doing? You're a nut. Yeah, you are. You know you are. Don't forget to put your dog bone, or at least kind of line it up. It kind of sits right on the edge as you're threading this in. Just make sure it doesn't pop out as you're doing it, because then you're going to be popping this off again. Interested in what I'm doing, huh? Stop taking that. Just installing the link into the steering knuckle right now. It's threaded in, and then it has a nut nylock that goes on the top. And that nylock, that's a 5.5. Now I can reinstall the shock.
What's the garage?
Yeah, hey, buddy. These just rip right in there. He's going to his little house. Now, this is not lining up. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. That's more like it. What I used is a smaller hex to align the pivot ball with the. I used it as an alignment tool for the screw. That's it. No extra parts. Hex actually looks fine. That's it. All right. So that was it. That was just working on the Red Cat again. Let's see. Do I actually have to hold this? I shouldn't actually have to hold this thing. Is that better? Hello, YouTube. So anyways, so what we did is we last live stream, we actually fixed that. It's called a steering knuckle, or it's actually called a hub. So we fixed that one because that one broke. Red Cat uses, the same part in all four corners. They use obviously the toe links in the back to adjust the toe, and then obviously in the front you adjust that or accomplish it. It's technically it's the steering rod. So and the reason why we took apart the other three corners was because when I took that apart, it was kind of nasty, and all the years of actually, well, not years, it's been a couple of years, I think, of owning this thing, that you got to do maintenance. And we kind of maintained that one, so you might as well just go ahead and maintain all the other ones too, or do the maintenance schedule. But and then also we had the front shock on this side. This was actually leaking. I discovered that after cruising around today when I went to go clean it off. This was wet, and it wasn't water wet, it was oil wet. So we pulled this apart, and I got in here. I actually used a set of pliers and just kind of gave that cap a crank, and hopefully that's what it needed. If not, we'll probably have to do a rebuild kit, and I got to get shock oil anyway, because this oil right here is really not shock oil, but sometimes oil's oil, right? So anyway, obviously only a couple of people showed up onto this live stream. This was a live, and obviously it's going to be available as a recorded live. So thanks for watching this episode of What's Up Guy Garage, RC Garage Live. So thanks for watching, and now I'm just going to end the stream. Oh, by the way, you saw Vector this time. End stream. Yes.